Hello and welcome to The Bad Show and another bad review. You know the drill, we review the latest, greatest and occasionally worst game releases, because we literally have nothing better to do. All games we review start with a score of 10 out of 10 and we deduct points for bad bullshit, corporate greed and lazy developing. But only the best of the best get the Bad Show seal of approval. If you laugh, you gotta leave a like, them's the rules, and subscribe, hit the bell and all that other crap we need you to do so we can become
YouTube millionaires!
And give up our day jobs. No, seriously, I got...
Nobody cares! Nobody cares!
Remember when we used to get good single-player first-person shooters? In fact, it feels like a lifetime ago that I last played a single-player FPS. Yeah, I know Metro Exodus is a thing, but Epic Store, so that ain't gonna happen. Rage 2 is a first-person shooter developed by Avalanche Studios in conjunction with ID Software and published by Bethesda Softworks. The game is the sequel to the 2011 game Rage. When the original Rage was released, it showed real promise, boasting some of the best graphics I'd ever seen at the time. Great combat, but piss-poor story and a really boring landscape. And the less said about the ending, the better. So, has Rage learned its lessons over the last 7 years? Let's have a gander, shall we? Set 20 years after the original, Rage 2 welcomes you to the neon apocalypse with a bang.
Kablamo!
After a short cutscene, you are offered your choice of gender and then thrown headfirst into the action. Cyborgs are invading and have started making dude smoothies out of all your friends and family, and it's on you to shoot them into a bloody pulp and save the day. It's kinda like an 80s action movie. You play as a ranger called Walker.
In the eyes of a ranger, the unsuspecting stranger had better know the truth of wrong from right.
And it's your job to basically murder, maim and mutilate your way across the wasteland, earning new weapons, superpowers and vehicles to play with along the way. The story takes a backseat and feels very much like an afterthought. Generic bad guy kills your mama, you swear revenge, hunt him down, killing a few thousand goons in the process. This game is about visceral carnage and nothing more. The first thing I noticed when I started playing this game was that it felt eerily familiar, and not because of its predecessor, as it feels nothing like the first Rage, but because the combat feels exactly like 2016's Doom. It's smooth, precise, and gory as hell. You really get a sense of the power from the weapons as you blast armour off your foes before mashing them into spaghetti sauce. I'd love to tell you that all the weapons are fantastic, but ID made a bit of a cock-up in that they designed the best shotgun in gaming.
Wrong.
This basically made all the other weapons redundant in my eyes, and the only time I used anything else was when I ran out of shells or was fighting a boss. That's not to say the other weapon designs aren't good though. You have a range of rocket launchers, machine guns, pistols, and even a rather fun gravity dart launcher. Not to mention, if you coughed up for the special edition like Derp, you get the BFG 9000. Whoa, mama. But wait, there's more! To accompany your arsenal of weapons, you also get superpowers. You can launch mini black holes, raise barriers, slam, and generally tenderize the fuck out of the meatbags. So yeah, the combat is the best part of this game, hands down. ID Software did their job and they did it well. Then there's the world. Did anyone play Mad Max? If not, I highly recommend it, as it was also from Avalanche and a massive sleeper hit, and it's plain to see its DNA hard-coded into this game. Being an open world game, that means there's loads to do. Yes, it's big and open, and it's also littered with busy work to do, from bandit camps to mutant dens, races, a Running Man style game show, as well as hundreds of chests and other collectibles to find. Personally, I really enjoyed the camps, dens, and MBTV events, basically anything that involved making afterbirth of the bad guys. The treasure hunting, however, I did find a bit dull. If you're the sort of person who loves running around collecting stuff, then I'm sure this will appeal to you. But I found I just wanted to slay cyborgs, bandits and mutants, and often after clearing a den I would find myself doing a frustrating treasure hunt to clear an area, as I likely wasn't going to be coming back. I couldn't shake the notion that this game could have actually been a lot better if it was more linear. The driving serves its purpose to get across the wasteland, but as soon as the game introduces race events, you see how weak the driving mechanics really are, with only the starter vehicle being any good in my opinion. The physics seem off somehow. You can take turns you shouldn't be able to without braking, and get spun on really easy turns. I'm sure it'll get patched out, but it's definitely one of the more weaker elements of my experience.
Who can say where the road goes, where the day flows, only time. And who can say if your love grows as your heart shows, only time.
Oh fuck! Whilst we're on the subject of weaker elements, I have to address the levelling up. So there are multiple skill trees to play with for your car, weapons, powers and projects, and each one uses a different currency. I found it a bit convoluted, and if I'm honest, it marred what was otherwise a really enjoyable experience. Speaking of ruining experiences, I also encountered a few bugs. One where you couldn't get characters to speak to you, which was minor because some patients would, get it to work eventually. However, I did come across an old Bethesda favourite, the unfinishable main mission.
Talk to the guy, talk, talk, talk. Why won't you talk and finish the mission, you prick?
So there is a mission called The Signal, and it ends with you picking up a tape recording, and once the recording finishes, it's supposed to trigger the end of the mission. Mine never did. And the only reason that I was able to finish the game was because Derp sent me his save file as he was at the same point in the game. This did also net me his BFG 9000 by his special edition purchase and a few cosmetics he had purchased as well, so I was happy in the end. Much like its predecessor, the graphics in Rage 2 are pretty spectacular. The wasteland is actually really interesting to look at. Minus the neon pink, but that's probably just a me thing. The mountain ranges in the right light look absolutely phenomenal. I was particularly impressed with the animations, as you send bandits flying with a well-placed shotgun blast, or blow someone's legs off as they charge you. As with many other elements in this game, they threw realism under the metaphorical bus to turn the badassery right up to 11. And I'm kind of fine with that. Character models are good as well. There is a good variety of enemies ranging from bandits to chuds to ogres to cyborgs. All became fodder for my shotty, and I can't stress how much fun I had blowing them all apart. There are some noticeable texture popping, and on occasion enemies would despawn, which was a little bit annoying, but on the whole, unless you're blind, it's plain to see this game is very good looking.
What is it? What is that? Why is it following me?
Oh, it's still there. It's following me. I don't know what it is. Go away. Go away. Leave me alone. Go away. One of this game's true strengths is the audio design. The weapon sounds are pure perfection.
Perfection.
Shots are meaty and you feel like you're wielding weapons that have real punch. The amazing thing to me was that you could tell the difference between shooting armoured and unarmoured areas on the bad guys. The soft, pulpy squishes and squashes are fucking glorious. The voice acting is far better than the storytelling deserves, and the music is high octane and fits the game wonderfully. There is a weird bug where characters don't speak their dialogue, which is a real shame because other than that, the audio design in this game is perfect. Rage 2 is a bloody good game if you're looking for dumb, violent, gory fun. If you're looking for a novel-worthy story or deep character progression, you will not find it here. The gun mechanics laid down by ID Software are pure gold, but I felt it was let down by forgetful characters, poor story, and confusing upgrade currencies. And in all honesty, I got bored of driving around, so I would say Avalanche dropped the ball on this one. There are only 8 story missions, so Rage 2 depends on the filler to keep you occupied for the most part, and I had finished the game at around the 17-hour mark. However, if you want a game to de-stress after a hard day, Rage 2 will certainly scratch that itch. It's a lot of fun despite its flaws, and I would be happy to recommend it to anyone who's a bit sick in the head, like myself. So, the final score for Rage 2 is a solid 7 out of 10. And we're going to give it the Bad Show seal of approval. It's stupid, it's violent, and I want more. Boom! What? It's a possessed fucking cow! What the hell is going on?